Ladies and gentlemen, what you're looking at is an icon reborn. The Motorola RAZR is back, and it's better than ever. There are plenty of aspects here that'll remind you of the original RAZR, mainly the fact that, yes, by definition, this is a flip phone, but it's also very much a futuristic take on the modern smartphone. Let's talk about the hardware first. The new RAZR is a premium device. It's got solid build quality in terms of materials and feels good to hold. The hinge felt surprisingly durable and requires a bit of force to pry open and shut, which I think is a good thing. Motorola is using a harder plastic than Samsung used for the Fold. I didn't feel like I could dig my nails into the screen and permanently dent it. It felt more like glass than plastic somehow. And there's no visible crease, no matter what angle I held it at, which is awesome. Kudos to Motorola's engineers for this hinge mechanism and how the display actually folds, because if you look closely, the screen ever so slightly tucks into the bottom of the phone when you fold it in half, and it more or less folds completely in half, unlike the Galaxy Fold. There's pretty much no gap here. Interestingly, it doesn't unfold all the way, I'd say about 98%. I laid it down and it had some wiggle room, but you won't be able to tell. The angle is not as pronounced as the original RAZR. The display here is 6.2 inches at 2142 by 876, giving you an aspect ratio of 21:9, like the movies. The display on the outside is 2.7 inches with a totally different 4:3 aspect ratio at 800:600. I'll say, it felt kind of weird at first holding the thing closed because of how wide it is, but the more I played with it, the more I liked it. The new RAZR has a USB-C port, a volume rocker and power button, and it's got a fingerprint sensor on the chin which unlocks the phone quite quickly, even if the display is off, and it's got a front-facing camera in the notch. And by now you've noticed the main camera, which can certainly take selfies with the small display and becomes your main camera when the phone is unfolded. It's hard to say how either of these cameras perform in real day-to-day situations because the lighting at this event was terrible, but the continuity that Motorola baked in is a nice touch. You might be wondering about the outer small display. You cannot access the Android home screen from here. It's meant to be glanced at, like to see notifications, the time, change your brightness, turn on airplane mode, things like that. You can answer the phone when it's closed, but it'll be on speakerphone until you unfold it and talk regularly. And yes, you can close the phone to hang up, just like the original RAZR. As far as software goes, it's running a Motorola version of Android 9. I'm happy to report that the new RAZR does have a dark theme, and it's got the classic Motorola ringtone. I did a quick typing test, and I still hate typing on non-tactile keys, but there's haptic feedback here, meaning the phone does subtle buzzes when you type, which is helpful. I'll point out the obvious here. The new RAZR becomes a tiny, very pocketable phone when you fold it in half. And I think this form factor of folding phones, clamshell style, makes so much sense. The Galaxy Fold is a tall candy bar that unfolds like a book into a dinner plate, whereas the RAZR is a sort of normal phone when unfolded and becomes really portable when folded. The X-axis fold is more practical than the Y-axis fold. Of course, if you're looking to minimize the footprint of the device rather than maximize the screen real estate. I think the new RAZR is an excellent Generation 1 product when it comes to forward-thinking engineering and design for a smartphone going into 2020 and beyond. If I get my hands on one, I'll definitely do a deeper dive, so make sure you're subscribed to see it. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you again soon.